Hi, today I'm going to tell you all about how I saved $14,000 to go on my 12-country, 12-month grown-up gap year. And make sure you stick around to the end of the video because I'll tell you about some things that I wish I had done differently to get the money together for my trip. But first, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Stephanie Perry. When I was 41, I quit my job as a hospital pharmacy technician to go on a 12-country, 12-month grown-up gap year. The trip cost me $14,000 and it was worth every penny. Now I'm a full-time house sitter, and these videos, the grown-up gap year A to Z, are my way of helping you do the exact same thing. So make sure that you subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell, and you'll be notified when I post a new video. So let's talk money. Like I said, I was a hospital pharmacy technician. My salary was $42,000 a year. That included shift differential because I worked overnight shift and weekends. So net after taxes, I brought home about $2,500 per month. I also get a small disability check monthly from the Army. I'm a veteran with a hearing disability. So that took my monthly net income from $2,500 to about $2,630. I originally made the decision to take a grown-up gap year in July of 2014, and I left on the trip September of 2015. So I had 15 months to save up, and here's how I did it. Okay, first category is money that I made. Almost immediately after I decided that I wanted to quit my job and travel for a year, one of my co-workers went out on disability. This meant that my shift was now offering unlimited overtime. So half of the money that I spent on my grown-up gap year, I just made by working overtime. My net for overtime pay was $20 per hour approximately, and so I worked 24 hours of overtime every month for 15 months, or one extra shift 3 days out of the month. And that gave me approximately $7,200. So like I said, half of my trip was paid for just by working overtime. I made about 1 month of my trip's expenses almost by selling my stuff. I made about $800 by selling stuff I had around the house. I had a guitar that I never even figured out how to tune. I had a bike that I had never ridden, and a ton of books. I sold a lot of books to usedtextbooks.com, and I sold some Dooney and Bourke purses on Poshmark. And then about 2 weeks before my trip, my brother and sister-in-law's neighborhood had a community-wide yard sale, so I packed up my car full of stuff and set up shop in their front yard. So overall, I think I made between $800 and $1,000 from selling stuff that I already had. So that's it for the made it category. That's basically all the money that I made. The rest was money that I saved. Like I said, I got the idea to take a grown-up gap year in July of 2014. It was my 40th birthday, and I went to Brazil, and I met a guy from San Diego who said he had quit his job to travel on his savings, and when he went back, he was just going to go get his job back. And immediately I knew I was going to do the exact same thing. So like I said, that was July of 2014, and I had just paid my car off in May of 2014. So I saved that $180 every month for my gap year, and that totaled $2,700. The next way that I saved money was to disconnect my DirecTV service. I know this was 2014. I know now a lot of people have already done this, but this is what I did. My DirecTV had been on auto payment for such a long time that I didn't realize what my DirecTV bill was every month. I thought I was paying about $65. Turns out I was paying $95 a month, so I got rid of that immediately. So that meant that I saved $89 per month, and that totals, I'm looking at my notes, $1,335 over the course of 15 months. So over 1 full month of travel was paid for just by getting rid of DirecTV. Okay, the third way that I saved money is one of my least favorite ways that people always tell you to save money. It's on every blog post and in every video, and I hate it when I hear it, but I did do it, and so I do have to tell you that I did it. And that was by packing my lunch and making my own food. I'd been working night shift, and what I would do every day before work is I would go to Wawa, my true love. I would go to Wawa before work, which was 10 o'clock p.m., but it was, breakfast time to me. So I would buy coffee, I would buy breakfast, I'd buy an Italian hoagie for lunch, I would buy a soft pretzel, some iced tea, maybe a candy bar. And I would do that every work day. So we're talking $15 easy every day. I started packing my lunch, making my own meals, tracking the money that I was spending, and I went from spending about $15 a day at Wawa to spending about $10 a day on my breakfast and lunch. So that savings gave me about $2,000 to put toward my trip over the course of 15 months. Now, there are two ways that I feel like I left money on the table when it came to saving up my money for my grown-up gap year. The first one was house sitting. As I told you, I'm a full-time house sitter now, and it took me a while to go from being a free house sitter to a paid house sitter. If I had known about house sitting before, I would have been able to start while I was home in Delaware, and I would have been able to make a little extra money, especially on holiday weekends when people are traveling. I would have been able to make a little extra change taking care of their animals and taking care of their homes while they were away. If you're at all interested in becoming a house sitter or a pet sitter, take a quick look at yesterday's video. I made a video all about how to get paid to house sit. And the second way that I kind of feel like I fumbled the ball when it came to saving up money for the gap year was with not starting my freelance writing business then. Today I make money as a freelance writer, but like a lot of freelancers, I spend more time prospecting for new clients than I do actually on client work. And if I had started freelance writing when I decided that I wanted to quit my job and travel the world for a year, it would have been a smoother transition. First of all, I would have had a little more money. I would have been able to make money while I was traveling, so I wouldn't have been so stuck to my budget, and I would be further along in my business today. When I did start my freelance writing business later, it was through the help of classes that I took on SkillShare. SkillShare is a perfect way to learn a skill from the experts without putting out any money, because the link to a free trial membership is in the description box below. You get 2 months for free. And the classes are short and sweet. They're just a way to learn a new topic and then move on. So that's the main thing that I regret about my $14,000 savings journey. But like I said, it was worth it 1,000 times over. It was a wonderful experience. So that is how I saved $14,000 to quit my job and travel the world for a year. When my year was over, I was completely flat broke. I came home and my mom and dad let me come home to them. Thanks, Mom and Dad. My job did hire me back when I came home, although I didn't take it. I took a job at another hospital because I knew that I was going to only be in town for a couple of more months, because I took off again and went to South Africa. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
All right.